started out as just another Sunday in paradise as we rode out of Oliva at sunrise. Ahead of us stood 144 kilometres of some of the best cycling roads in the world. My season was rolling to a close and this was scripted as a nice sign off, but this is cycling and things don't always pan out the way they're meant to. My name's Dave and this is the story of my 2024 Alberto Contador Gran Fondo. Everything you're about to watch was filmed on the Insta360 X4 and I hope you agree it captured some incredible shots. If you'd like to check this camera out for yourself, I've left links to all the kit I used to film this in the description below. I'd also like to give a shout out to Insta360 who are today's video sponsor. Okay, so let's turn the clock back to mid-September when I headed to Spain to ride the Alberto Contador Gran Fondo. It's been a mega year for cycling. This was my penultimate event and it promised to be a good one. The roads in the Costa Blanca are some of the best in the world for cycling. I've been lucky enough to come here quite a few times this year and the route for this event looks spectacular. We rolled out of town at 8 AM with the sun coming up, feeling great and good vibes aplenty amongst the riders. The stage was set for a fantastic day on the bike. Rain was on the forecast, but at the moment there was only a few clouds in the sky and ever the optimist had hoped we might get lucky and stay dry.
This event's 144k, takes on climbs like the Col de Rats, Sacrueta, Valderbo, all on closed roads. Should be a pretty epic day on the bike. As usual in these events, massive field, super chaotic start, and I'm somewhere towards the back. So I'm going to get my head down, get cracking. It's time to ride.
On the first 40k of this ride are rolling with a few kickers thrown in to open up the legs and stretch out the group. I'm trying to ride at controlled but solid tempo, gradually work my way up through the field. The legs are feeling decent and at this point all the sensations indicate this should be a good day on the bike.
Been riding about an hour, coming up. Couple of little rollers on the way to warm the legs up. Absolutely no idea where I'm at on the road. Still moving forward, but like I think we were probably 1,000th on the road at the start, so fair to say there's a load of riders in front of us. 32 kilometers an hour for the first hour. Pretty solid start of the day. the Ratters now. Been riding 37k, should hit that fairly soon. What you tend to find in these events is, after the first hour, once you get the first big climb out of the way, you find yourself into a group who ride at a similar speed, at a similar level. I'm hoping that's what's going to happen here. The group I'm in at the minute seems to be riding pretty solid, so yeah, just following the wheels, saving their matches. Just roll through Class End. Right in front of me, the Ratters. I'm going to try not to get too carried away at the start.
As we rolled onto the climb, I hooked up with a group of around 30 riders. These guys were riding at a good tempo and I was over 300 watts all the way up. There was a few moments going up here where I was close to the limit and the elastic almost snapped, but I dug in and hung on. I thought a PR for the climb might have been on, but it turns out I missed it by a few seconds.
It's done. First day didn't feel too bad. Power up there was 310 watts average, so pretty happy with that.
Descent off the Col de Ratters done and the road rolled towards Taberna before we took a right and hit the next climb up to Sacrueta. The first section of this climb has a fairly constant shallow gradient. I can see groups ahead of me up the road and I set away trying to reel them in. A couple of k's further up the road and the event is being stopped to allow a partial regroupment of the front riders. After a couple of minutes standing around we get rolling again and for a moment at least the group is pretty chilled. It's a chance to get something to eat and catch your breath, but Sacrueta has a sting in the tail and I had a feeling it was about to go off. Off Sacrueta and through the town of Castells and the front group of around 150 riders is still together. I've ridden this next section of road a few times this year and I know it's going to be tough going to hang on to the front guys. ride into the first few ramps pretty steady, but before long it's full gas and I'm pretty much blowing a gasket just trying to stay in contact.
Guys at the front, absolutely drumming. Hard to set up. Now 80 k's in, pushing way too hard, it's going to blow. So yeah, group's starting to fall to bits now, and I'm on my own. Stretch road you're on now, super grippy, man. Twists and turns. Damn surface, dead greasy. All the steep ramps, absolutely destroys the legs. Been riding 2:50, normalised power sitting on 281, so it's definitely been a solid effort so far. Just come past the second feed station, no stops today though. Need to settle into a decent groove for this last 60k.
Yeah, that wasn't meant to happen. I watched the footage back hundreds of times and I still can't figure out what went wrong. I was taking zero risks, riding well within myself, and the front wheel just went away from me. In the video, the roads looked dry, but it had just started to rain, and anybody who's ridden in Spain will know damn Spanish roads are absolutely lethal. At this point, with the pain I was in, I thought my event was over.
Okay. Okay? I think so, mate.
Come on, mate. Stand up. First thing to do is to stand up, mate, yeah? Bit of a read on your wrist.
I think it's okay, like, you know, I think this slid.
Stand up, mate. Take your time, I'll give you.
Thank you,
Take
mate.
your time, mate. Yeah, you're welcome, mate. Come on, Scotland and England together, mate. Come on. Right. Deep breaths, deep breaths, deep breaths. Where's your chest there? All right there? All right?
Yeah, I slid, I think.
Oh, you did. Your back wheel went on you, yeah? Just check the bike's all right, mate.
I mean,
Beautiful bike, mate. I've got an 80 at home in Italy, yeah? Your second bottle, yeah?
motherfucker.
Yeah? You alright?
Thank you, mate. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
where's your second bottle?
Somewhere. I don't need it, mate, to be
Yes,
honest
yeah,
with
mate.
you.
Here you go. Whoa, hey, hey! Alright.
I'll get settled down here.
Here you go. There we go. There we go. You're welcome, man. We'll get going.
I've got a lump on now.
Yeah. Alright.
Thank you, mate.
See you time, yeah?
Aye, aye.
And Bruce, by the way.
Thank you, Bruce. Cheers, mate. Oh, that hurt, man. Luckily, no broken bones, but yeah, my bike's not great. But no gears at the back, so I'm stuck in the 14 now. Thankfully, I've got the front mech, so I basically got both chain rings in the 14 sprocket for the last 60k. Needless to say, I'm going to be taking all these descents even more carefully than I have been already. That was the first time I've really let the brakes off, and roads are just super slippy. Back wheel went, nothing I could do to save it. Back on the bike though, could have been worse. Shout out to the Scotsman Bruce who stopped and helped me there. Man, really appreciate it. I didn't break collarbone, elbow or wrist, got no idea.
I felt pretty banged up at this point. My knee had taken a decent whack, and my elbow that's been pinned before after a racing crash felt pretty bad. This next part of the video isn't pretty.
About 40k to go now. till you get the finish and get this done.
After the crash, my confidence on the descents was shot and I had to frustratingly watch groups of riders catch and pass me as I dropped down like Bambi on ice. To add to this, I was hideously overgeared on a few of the climbs and the rain which had been forecast was now dumping down.
$25k left to go. Oh man, my legs, my elbow starting to stiffen up, spring rotten, so trying to get the finish, get cleaned up. Obviously being stuck in 2 gears over this last 50k hasn't been ideal. I would say I've probably been in the wrong gear 90% of the time. My lowest gear was 36.14, which wasn't ideal for that last climb. So I'm having to do a bit of zigzagging to get up there.
With around 25k left to ride, we rolled onto the last climb of the day up to Val d'Ebo. This one is only around 3k long and then it was a gradual downhill roll all the way back to the finish.
Last K, top of Val d'Ebo. Done this one before. I think it flattens out a bit for the last section, but yeah, I'm actually climbing okay considering.
This descent in the dry is an absolute blast. Today though, in the wet, not so much.
$132k done, about 12k left. Just every man for himself now, ones and twos. Long straight stretch of road now, full TT mode. Could do with some bigger gears to be honest. See riders ahead of me, but going to take some catching in the 52.14. What a day that was. A little bit more epic than what I had in mind, and not for the right reasons. To be honest, that crash could have been much worse. Don't know what happened. The back wheel just went out from under me, and I'm mega lucky to not break any bones or damage my bike anymore. I haven't even looked at the injuries yet, like, so there might be a bit of bone sticking out. Fair, it doesn't look too bad. But yeah, could have been a lot worse. So happy to get the finish. It's the first time we've crashed this year, and you start to think you're invincible, and something like that happens, and yeah, it makes you realise it's a dangerous sport that we do, and yeah, you can be caught out at any second. Sometimes circumstances just take things out of your control, like they did for me today, but we're back, we've done it. Go let this sink in, get cleaned up, and yeah, we'll have a bit of a debrief in a bit.
And this is the debrief 1 month after the event. My injuries are healed, and thankfully, and most importantly, my bike survived, barring a smashed up STI lever and a little bit of paint off the frame. Looking back, although the event definitely didn't go to plan, I'm happy that I was able to get back up, get back on my bike and finish it. It's a fantastic route, really well organised event, and it's definitely one that I want to go back to and have another go at. Hopefully in the dry, without crashing next time. So my event time for the rolling 144km loop was 4 hours and 58 minutes, and my normalised power was a smidge over 260 watts. Now my power did drop off quite a bit after the crash, and considering how I was feeling and what had gone on, I was pretty happy with my day. I'll leave a link to my Strava file in the description below. It's a fantastic route. If you're ever out riding in this part of the world, you should definitely check it out. 2 weeks after this event, I headed to Belgium to ride the Gravel World Championships. Mathieu van der Poel is on the rampage. He's bearing down behind us, and let me tell you, this ramps up the atmosphere to a whole new level. It's absolutely incredible. It's a proper goosebump moment. I've already uploaded that video onto the channel. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll put a link up in the top right. It's a great watch, check it out. I hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. It wasn't an easy one to film on the day, especially after the crash, but I love pulling these event videos together. I'm trying to be more creative in the edit, and the Insta360 X4 gives me the footage to take my content to the next level. I'd be super interested to know what you guys think, so give me your feedback on that 360 footage in the comments down below. I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. If you have, you know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video. Any questions or comments, fire them down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. As always, guys, it's absolutely awesome having you along for the ride. And I'll catch you next time.